This program is made possible by the nonprofit Investor Protection Institute.
Wells, you in there? So this is what retirement looks like.
Just taking a little nap.
A little gamey in here, Tom. You might want to consider changing clothes.
Well, Mary went to visit her sister in Richmond. She won't be back till Sunday.
You do realize this is Thursday, right?
I showered, put on a suit for 37 years. I have earned the right to stink in my own house. Want a drink?
No, thanks. I got to contend with rush hour.
How are things in D.C.?
Well, the last 6 months I've busted a dozen different investment scams. 38 perps arrested, 21 waiting trial.
Congratulations. Recover any money?
You know the answer to that. 95% of the time the money's gone.
Arrest the bad guys, recover what you can. What else can you do?
I'm not sure I'm making a difference at all, Tom.
You didn't come all the way out here to check on my grooming habits. So what's this really all about?
This one happened right under my nose. Earlier this year, I went home to visit my family. I caught word of an investment meeting organized by a popular young man, local guy named Matt Thomas. Smart, former high school football star. The community loved this guy.
Half the battle is gaining the investor's trust.
The people affected by this, Tom, were my friends.
Why don't you start at the beginning?
All right. Sharon Jones grew up around the corner from my parents' house. Thought of me as a big brother. Hell, I drove her to school when she missed the bus. I was the first one she called when she got engaged.
Dan was the love of my life. We were married right out of high school. We'd been married less than 6 months when Dan joined the Army. After Tammy was born, our lives were pretty much perfect. Then, 3 years ago, Dan was killed in Afghanistan, and the bottom fell out of our world.
Mom, you're not gonna believe this. I got into Juilliard. Into Juilliard? Oh my gosh! I knew this day would come.
Congratulations, honey.
Thank you. I've been working so hard. I can't believe this is actually gonna happen.
I'm so proud of you.
I got a text like, Tanya and Brittany, they're gonna be so excited.
You know, it doesn't say anything about financial aid here.
But I mean, we can afford this, right, Mom?
Yes, we can afford it. But we'll make it work out.
Great, I gotta run. I love you.
Well, figure out dinner for yourself, okay? Because I've got an investment meeting and I'm not sure when I'll be back.
As a retired vet, I made a point to look after Sharon and her daughter whenever I could. They can use some extra money, and I'm hopeful this investment deal with Matt Thomas would be the answer. I have a military pension and a comfortable nest egg, but I'm always on the lookout for ways to make more money. Hello?
Mr. Bentley? Matt Thomas here.
Hey, Matt, I was just thinking about you. We've known each other for a long time, so please just call me Alan.
Yes, sir. Alan, I appreciate that. I'm calling to make sure you're coming to the meeting today.
Wasn't missing for the world, Matt. In fact, since you emailed me stating you were coming back to start a business, I recruited a few folks to come and hear your presentation.
Fantastic. I have some exciting things in the works. I can't wait to share them with you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Alan. See you soon.
Molly and I have put away a little money in our 401k, and we have some life insurance, but it isn't nearly enough to retire on.
That's right. Thanks, Tom.
We also have the burden of helping our 34-year-old son, Chester, who's out of work and living back at home with us.
Am I interrupting?
Molly, what are you doing here?
Hey, babes. Happy birthday. I got you something.
I thought we agreed on no gifts this year.
Oh, it's just a little something, something. I hope you like it.
I love it.
Good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I just wish you wouldn't have spent the money. We need to be looking out for our future, Molly.
Oh, that reminds me. I also stopped by the travel agency because that second honeymoon that we've been talking about, oh, this is paradise, babe.
You know our credit cards are full. We can't keep doing this.
But looking doesn't hurt anything, does it?
I don't think you fully understand our situation.
Honey, what I do understand is that you and I have always found a way to make things work. If you will just believe, we can make this happen too. It's Chester. I'm a little bit late picking him up for lunch.
You got a job yet?
Don't be such a grump. I'll fix you your favorite dinner tonight, okay?
Okay.
All right, babes. Bye. Happy birthday. Love you.
Molly had her heart set on traveling in retirement. More than anything, I want to fulfill that dream for her. But to do so, I'm going to need some financial help.
Stop right there. We got 3 people, each with different financial needs, all looking for a way to make money.
Yeah, with someone they knew and trusted.
Tell me about this Matt Thomas. What's his business that he's raising money for?
I'm getting to that. I wasn't formally invited to the investor meeting, but I dropped by anyway to see what it was all about.
Hello, my name is Dave Williams, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer here at Thomas Industries. Matt and I went to school together, and he's a natural genius in math, science, and statistics, and he graduated at the top of his class. Without further ado, the man that you all came to hear, Matt Thomas.
Thank you all for coming. I got married in June, and Dave was at my wedding. We've known each other since the 7th grade, and I think we've done pretty good for a couple of small-town kids, huh? Some of you I recognize, some are new faces. You probably noticed Sharon Jones over here setting up her video camera.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to record this so I wouldn't forget anything.
No, I think it's a great idea. As a matter of fact, I'd like a copy of that video. I think it'd be great to use for recruiting more investors. I'm glad to see you here, Mr. Bentley. Alan. For those of you who don't know, Alan and I were both raised in foster families. And in high school, when I had a lot of questions about life, he was always there for me. I owe him a lot. I'm gonna make you a lot of money, Alan. I'm glad to see you here, Elliot. We're gonna fix it to where you never have to sell another insurance policy again.
I'm all for that.
All right, let's get down to business. I look around and I can feel that all of you, no matter who you are, could use a financial shot in the arm. Am I right? Yeah. Well, you have come to the right place. I studied finance at the university, but after my first semester, I realized that with my math background, the way that my brain worked, I already knew more than I was being taught. The only way I was going to be challenged was in the real world. So I left school and moved to New York, where I learned the ins and outs of being a stockbroker. And I learned pretty fast that not only did it come easy for me, but I was pretty good at it. What I'm about to offer each of you is that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you've only dreamed about. It may not be as big as hitting the Powerball lottery, but it's darn close. I've devised an investment algorithm, basically an algebraic formula that fits the metric in all kinds of stock markets, here and abroad, up or down. In fact, this formula makes more money in a down market. I'm not kidding. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, this is too good to be true. A formula that makes money off stocks. I don't blame you for thinking that way, but listen to this. We've used this formula in the marketplace for 6 months now. And it works in every market, in every trade. To date, we've been a winner in 92% of our stocks. Now, this formula works, and it's made us enough money to diversify into other businesses such as oil and gas and in real estate. Now, I can't tell you the specifics of this formula, and even if I did, it's likely that you wouldn't understand. But what I could tell you is that the returns are off the charts for today's market. The good Lord gave me the talent to develop this formula, and I want to use it to take care of the people that I care about most. You. Our goals are big. We want to create the greatest lifestyle company in the world that services all of your needs. I'm talking about medical care, vacations, and traveling. We want all of our investors, we call them members, to have access to all of our amenities and to feel like part of the family. Imagine a place where you could go as a member and you can have access to all the corporate houses and you can stay there for a week on vacation for free. Facebook, Google, Apple, all those companies started with a man that had a vision. This is my vision. What we're doing here today is raising capital to expand that vision. Now, I could have easily gone to New York and raised $10 million in venture capital from the Wall Street fat cats, but they would have wanted to know the formula. And obviously, that's worth more than $10 million.
Well, is it a formula or is it a formula that operates a software program?
It's a formula that's embedded in software. It's custom. Now, I wrote the formula, and my uncle wrote the software, and he's sworn to secrecy, or else he's not invited to Thanksgiving. And if you see my uncle, you know that this is a pretty big deal. But make no mistake, eventually, no matter how secure we are with this formula, eventually someone will hack it and figure this formula out. That's why it's so important for us to get in on this deal now. I can't stress that enough. We have to make as much money as we can now to get ahead of the game. I can't stress it enough. God gave me this talent to share with you. We have to get in on this now.
So you're a Christian?
Absolutely. I was raised in a Christian family. My foster father has been a pastor ever since I can remember.
Do you have any other investors we might know?
Dave is an investor. Dave's parents are investors too. My foster parents are investors. Actually, we all pulled our money together to start this venture, about 40 grand. And to date, we've made all of that back and more, a lot more.
So can you tell us about how the formula works?
All I can tell you is that it makes 3 to 5% a day for the company, and that's on average. I know what you're probably thinking. There's no perfect formula where you cannot lose money, and that's essentially true. But with this formula, you can minimize the losses to where the gains are that much better.
So I'm confused. Are you a broker?
I'm not a broker. This investment is in my new company, Thomas Investments. It's an LLC. As a company, we can invest money and we can have shareholders like you. We cannot do that as a broker or as a mutual fund. We share in the wealth.
So how many investor owners do you have now?
Well, it started with just Dave and I and our families, and it's grown now to about 270 or so.
Well, yeah, actually, we sat down with some folks from Arkansas last night, and we signed up about 33 of them, so that would make us near like 300 men.
Is there a cutoff to the number of investors?
Legally, we have to have 1,000 members, and we expect to reach that by the end of the year. But last week, we had 131, so it's moving pretty fast. This morning, we had about $4.3 million in invested money, and like I said, we grow that 3 to 5% a day.
How long have you officially been in business?
About 6 months. This is our 7th month of payouts.
What if I want to get my cash out early? Can I do that?
Absolutely. We have people who do that when they need access to their accounts. Most people get 2 accounts, one that they can have access to and one that rolls over each month. Oh, here's another thing. We would rather put money into perks for our members than have to pay taxes. To do this, we expense the perks and then pay the taxes at company level. You will not be assessed the taxable income. In effect, we will pay the tax on your gains.
So you're saying we won't pay tax at all?
That's right. That's the biggest perk of all. We will pay your income taxes for you. Okay, now here's the important stuff. Units are available at $2,000 each, and you must buy 2 units. You can buy as many as you want, but in order to guarantee your place in this deal, you need to act as quickly as possible. Again, timing here is extremely critical.
So who do I make my check out to?
The Thomas Investments Company. All right, who else is in on this deal?
For crying out loud. There's no foolproof investment formula. You know that.
Matt was a smart guy, likable, charismatic. His story is pretty convincing even for me.
Well, the part about not paying taxes, that should have tipped everyone off that something wasn't right.
People want to make a bunch of money and pay no tax. And they trusted him.
Did you run a check on him?
As soon as I got back to D.C., he was clean, not even a parking ticket. But my experience told me it was a scam, so I notified the local authorities. They started their own investigation following the money.
What about your friends?
Well, I talked to him in the parking lot. Alan felt like I did. It was all too good to be true. But Ellie and Sharon needed money, so they were in on the deal no matter what I had to say.
The worst thing a person could do is just hand over their money without doing research on the investment.
That's what I told them.
So what happened next?
Matt opened an office. Everything looked legit for the first 6 weeks until it came time to issue the first of the monthly checks.
Hello? Molly. Hey, did anything come in the mail today from Thomas Investments?
No, just a gas bill and a few catalogs.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Is it important?
No, don't worry about it. It's nothing.
Okay, well, Chester's grilling steaks for dinner, so don't be late, okay?
I won't.
I'll see you tonight.
Hi, this is Matt Thomas at Thomas Investments. I'm not in right now, but your call is important to me, so please leave a message.
Hi, Matt. Sharon Jones here. This is the 3rd message that I've left, and I haven't heard back from you. I don't mean to be a pest, but I never received my first check, and I'm really concerned. So could you please get back with me? Matt, you're a hard guy to get a hold of.
I've been meaning to call you back. I'm so sorry. I think it's been crazy.
I never received the first check for my investment, and it was supposed to be mailed 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know that, and I apologize. There's been a holdup with the foreign currency conversion, and it's been putting everything a little bit behind. You know, that always happens when you're dealing with these foreign governments. But I'm on my way to a meeting right now, actually, to make sure that it never happens again.
Here's the deal, Matt. My daughter just got accepted to Juilliard, and I'm going to have to pull my money out immediately.
First off, congratulations. It's an amazing school. But I have to caution you, Sharon, about pulling out too early. You're going to make a lot of money if you can just be patient. More than enough to pay for all your daughter's schooling.
I know, but
I'll tell you what, let me go to this meeting and sort all of this out. And I promise you, you will have your first check by Friday. Right? In the meantime, think about this. This delay is only temporary. Your daughter's going to be just fine. All right? I've really got to go. On Friday, I guarantee it.
Elliot Wilson?
That's right. Can I help you?
I'd like to ask you a few questions about Matt Thomas and Thomas Investments.
Criminal fraud and money laundering. Are you serious?
That's what the detective said.
I have half of Tammy's college fund wrapped up in this. She's been working her whole life to have an opportunity to go to New York.
This can't be right. I've known Matt since he was a little kid. He wouldn't do something like this.
All I know is I rolled our entire 401k into this deal with Matt. I need that money, Alan. There's no way I'll ever recover without it. How am I going to tell Molly?
You know, I should have had him give me the money when I saw him.
Well, I feel horrible. I had a feeling this deal was too good to be true, but I never thought anything like this would happen. I shouldn't have involved either of you.
This isn't going to end well, is it?
Disturbing local news today as a young man is arrested in connection with an investment scheme bilking tens of thousands of dollars from residents. Matt Thomas, the owner of Thomas Investments LLC, was arrested for criminal fraud, money laundering, mail fraud, and securities fraud. Hundreds of residents...
Hello?
Are you watching this?
Yes, it's terrible.
I never saw this coming. I'm really sorry, Sharon.
Me too.
Hundreds of residents across several states had invested heavily with the fraudulent company, many of them risking their entire life savings. Thomas was arrested without incident, but according to one sheriff's deputy, quote, the local money invested will likely never be recovered.
Hello?
Hey, Chester and I are going out to a movie. I'm going to put your dinner in the oven, okay? Elliot?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oven. Okay.
Honey, is everything okay?
Molly? I've got something I need to tell you.
Yeah? So what is it, babe?
Oh, never mind. It's just work stuff. You and Chester go have a good time.
I love you. I'll see you tonight.
I am really sorry, Ray, that this had to happen to your friends. So Alan was the only one that looked at the facts and saw that this deal was just too good to be true.
Molly lost her husband, their entire life savings. Tammy, her dream of Juilliard.
Matt Thomas?
Matt Thomas. Sentenced to 10 years in prison for bank and mail fraud. Doesn't seem like it's enough considering the pain he inflicted.
I know you feel responsible for Sharon and Elliot. Wasn't your fault. When a bank gets robbed, the bank gets their money back. They're insured. But when regular people put their hard-earned money into a scam, it's gone for good. All you can do is spread the word and get folks to educate themselves and only invest with reputable people and companies. For every person that you stop, you save countless numbers of future victims. Don't ever lose sight of that. What you do matters. And you're damn good at it, Henley.
Thanks. I needed that.
Tell you what, keep bringing these cases by. We'll look at them together. Hey, maybe I can help with some of the loose ends. I don't have anything better to do.
Does this mean you'll shower?
What? Now, wait a minute. I can't be making those kind of promises now. You better get out of here. Rush hour awaits. Henley. Thanks for coming.
You'll be hearing from me.
Now what I did was for about 6 months I locked myself in a room and came up with basically it amounts to a formula where I make 3 to 5% per day on any given amount of money. So to eliminate all of our risk, that's why I went to work on a formula that made money and didn't lose a lot of money. They say there is no perfect formula where you cannot lose any money, but if you minimize that, then your gains are so much better. How can I make where everybody could benefit from this 3 to 5% per day?
This program is made possible by the nonprofit Investor Protection Institute.